You don't really see Arsene Wenger smile, but now he's smiling. That's because Arsenal are playing very well, and of course Claudio Ranieri, he's taking it easy. It's not. He doesn't want to get complacent. He likes where Leicester is at the moment, but he knows that it can get really, really tough. But of course, they're getting ready for their next games. They're looking forward to see if Christmas, and of course, they can sustain where they are on the league table till January. Let's go back to that Ifeanyi Ubah pictures. Issues coming out of Nigerian football. Remember, talks came out that Gabriel Chukwuma, the owner of Gabros FC, that sold the club to Ifeanyi Ubah to become Ifeanyi Ubah Football Club. Talks coming out of it, and he came out to say contract agreements were not, honored. I'm taking back my club. Started screening, but the court has said no, you can't do this. Pause.
Well, it's a messy situation, Austin. Like you said, last season, Gabros was bought over by FC Ifeanyi Ubah, the oil tycoon, owner of the club. And then all of a sudden, I think about 3 weeks ago, I saw a story credited to Gabros, that's Gabriel Chukwuma, saying that he's claiming back ownership of the club, that, like you said, there were some contractual agreements that Ifeanyi Ubah did not meet, and therefore, he's invoking some of the clauses and taking over the club. Then they also announced that they're getting an Argentine coach and even invited players from various Premier League clubs for screening. And just, I think 2 days ago, Ifeanyi Ubah went to court in FCT and got a court injunction, stopping everything, every screening that everything called the Gabros should stop until March next year. So that is the situation. We learned that talks, we don't know where they came from. Even though Gabros is claiming that the talks were sent by Ifeanyi Ubah, but we cannot clarify that at the moment. The talks came there and almost disrupted the screening. Chukwuma had to appeal to them before they left. So for me, I think the LMC must have to make a comment because the documents are with them. The documents, that shows the ownership of the club.
That's right.
So if there is something amiss, the LMC should not break the ostrich. They should come out and tell us, because these things are messy. You don't hear such things in civilized clients.
Oh my goodness, because a lot has gone into branding to change the club and all of that. Let's assume something goes right or wrong, and then it goes back to Gabros.
Because if we continue like this, what will be the fate of the players in the club? Are they going to be playing as for Ifeanyi Ubah, or are they going to play for Gabros? And from what the judgment I read, they said the substantial the proceedings will start in March next year. So are we going to? Is this club going to be in limbo till March next year?
Look at that.
So the LMC must come out and clarify issues, so that the fate of these players, and unless some of them are still being owed, under FC Ifeanyi Ubah. These are issues that...
Issues. Well, Julian Ajowan has joined us now to come and meet these issues. Julian, good to have you on the show.
Yeah, thank you very much, Austin. I mean, just to add to what he has said, it's only in Nigeria, basically, you see stuff like this happen. And I was kind of laughing, when I saw this story, because at the end of the day, two, business people in quotes, dragging over one club side. At the end of the day, some players who want to lean towards to Ifeanyi Ubah, others want to. So perhaps we might just have two club side, Ifeanyi Ubah and Gabros, playing in the same league. But at the end of the day, even if we are hearing that the league might start in January, and now
you need to sort these things as this first.
So are we going to have a 19? Club league, pending when Ifeanyi Ubah saw their issues, then they will join them. So the LMC, just like he has said, needs to come in and let us into what it is really all about. Okay,
I'll still stay with you, Julian, and we're still discussing issues going on, not just in Nigeria. If you've been following all going on in FIFA, these are not good times for Michel Platini and Sepp Blatter. They said they're going to CAS. Sepp Blatter says he's fighting for himself on FIFA, and I'm wondering which FIFA.
I really have my doubts over all of this, but I think for Platini, he's trying to do everything within his power to ensure that he's cleared to contest that February 26 election in 2016. And for Sepp Blatter, I really do not know why he's fighting for this 8-year ban. And for Michel Platini, yes, we know he's definitely in the seat of FIFA and all of that, and we know how all of this happened. Money exchanging hands between Blatter and also Michel Platini, and both of them have been banned by the ethics committee for 8 years for everything football related. So I think it's a very messy situation at this point, and they should not take it as it is. Serves both of them right, because money actually exchange, and that's the reality. So I think they should just take the judgment, but they will not just lie low just like that. They would want to take the matter to CAS, and CAS might just be the final destination for where this issue might be heading.
And that's where they're going to, Iwuchi. Yemi says Seblana is fighting for his legacy. And let's assume that the ruling from CAS goes in their favor. Is it a victory for football?
I don't think so. I think there was also part of the statement where he said he was fighting for the memory of Nelson Mandela, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, true.
I had to look at it properly. Whether there was a mistake.
It was,
I think he's trying to whip up sentiment. I think what Blatter is doing is, try to, like a proverbial drowning man, try to see if he can, survive, try to clear his name. But in all these things, there have been several issues, over the decades of mismanagement in FIFA. And some folks that have tried to blow the whistle have been shown the way out. They've tried to cover these things in the past. But like he said, the cup was already full, and he is facing the music. Such a pity for Platini. He still got some years ahead of him in his 60s. Blatter in his 80s. We don't know whether they're going to get a favorable judgment in CAS. But as it goes, Austin, this is not good for football
at all.
We have seen some, some of their sponsors coming out to say they could pull out.
Fix this or we're gone.
If this scandal, keeps on dragging on.
That's right.
For Blatter, really, I don't know what he's trying to prove.
Because there's been allegations after allegations. FIFA ex-officials, current officials have been picked up, prosecuted. Even Tokyo Sexuale recently was being questioned.
Yeah,
so it means a lot of things is rooted into FIFA that if they are not brought out and corrected, it will just go on.
It's endemic. And I think the most honorable thing for him to do is to end this case so that the focus for the bad reasons will not be on football. Because if he stops this case, then they can move towards holding the election next year, getting a supposedly clean person to lead FIFA, into a new direction. Because everything we've been hearing has been scandal, and all along. So we need a new direction for FIFA. We need a clean football, for the world, and we can't get it with this present scenario.
Well, that's it. That's what everyone wants, a change in FIFA, and we're hoping that this is the time that change will come to FIFA. It's not just Sepp Blatter and Michel Platini. They're looking forward to go to CAS, but I'm wondering why Barca is going to CAS, because it seems they'll be cleared in January to start buying players.
Yeah, they'll start buying players. In fact, Alex Vidal and Ada Turano, they signed from Sevilla and Atletico Madrid respectively, will start playing for them, and he adds that bit of quality and strength in depth in their squad, because they've struggled at some point this season, because sometimes they do a play with injury. Remember, Messi didn't play for about 2 months or thereabout. At some point, Neymar also had his injury worries, and they struggled, in that aspect. So overturning that ban, I think it's a good one for them. They can sign players. You're hearing they want to bring Nolito back from Celta Vigo, and also I think for Barca, it's a good news for them. And let's just see if they can. They will definitely challenge along front. They just won the FIFA Club World Cup just this past weekend. They're in the front, Bona for the Spanish La Liga, and they also bidding to become the first team since the Champions League was, changed in 1993 to win it back to back. So they are fighting on all cylinders, and they need to sign more players and have that extra strength and depth for them to win on all fronts this season.
So that's it. FC Barcelona, they will not, stop winning, and they won't stop consolidating on their current squad. So let's just read this.
What do they need players for?
I know, because
they have you have Suarez, you have Neymar, you have the best player in the world. Do they want
Iniesta?
Do they want to annihilate or decimate their opponents?
But that's why it's a champion team. Which you just need to keep getting better. They were beating Real Madrid 3-0, and Messi was getting ready to come in. I said, this is wickedness.
In the past, if Messi is not playing, the team, he gets crippled. But now, when he's not playing, they are also scoring
more goals.
What do they? I think it's an overkill, if you ask me.
No, that's a club with ambition. That's a club that understands where they're going. That's a club that also builds, you know. They believe in long term. They don't just want to buy a player and then sell you next year or sell you 2 years after. So they understand why they need to go through the transfer market and do some business. Let's just take some tweets. On the show now, and David Ogunedo, thank you so much for talking to us. He says, congratulations to you guys, La Decima on point, just like my darling team, Real Madrid. Yes, use us to talk about your team, it's allowed. He said, keep it up, and Merry Christmas in advance. Merry Christmas. La Decima, we're still celebrating it. Effect, this guy says, are you sure the ministry isn't taking sides? That's what the Ministry of Sports is trying to understand.
On the Taekwondo or the Football Federation?
On the Football Federation is asking, are you sure the ministry is not taking sides?
No, I don't think they're taking sides. If it's the Taekwondo issue, maybe we could suspect some level of participation. But Football Federation, I mean, the minister's kids are not playing football, to our own knowledge. So why would
the minister is relatively new, so you still need time to study the terrain, and then if he's taking sides, then we'll get to know.
Okay, Alex Majom, says, good evening, guys. Happy Xmas in advance. Just want to greet you guys for the good work. God bless you guys in the studio, and God bless you too. And let's talk about this fortunate guy. So lucky. He's a world skiing champion. His name is Marcel Ichta. I had a lucky escape after he narrowly avoided being knocked out by a drone. I don't know if you've heard that story, but again, it calls for caution in sports.
Well, it calls for caution, and that's why the International Skiing Federation are trying to, ban, those drone cameras, because it was really a very, a difficult situation for that person talking about Marcel Hirscher. He still, did well to come, second position, 1.25 seconds behind Norway's Christophersen. So it's a good one for him. Thank God he didn't sustain any major injury. That's, the high point for him in that, race. And, let's just hope he can bounce back and is raring to go in subsequent races. But I think it's one major area where the International Skiing Federation needs to work on. They need to, clamp down on, banning of a drone, talking about cameras when races are taking place.
I was very lucky because the drone slammed down just inches behind him, and not a good one, but let's just thank God that he came out of that one unhurt. And it's a call on not just those involved in sports, the sports personalities themselves. When you're out there, you have to have your back. Look at the freak accident that would have happened to Usain Bolt at the World Championships. After winning, a cameraman,
and there was even an
doing
incident
his
in
job.
One of the races in recent times where a cameraman was, on the road busy taking pictures while the race was still going on, and anything would have happened. So I think
that's why most times the safety cars just come up, particularly after an accident and all of that. So it's very, very important, particularly with sports that some people believe are either too dangerous or violent. So that's it. When would you think it's about time we go now? Any other update for our viewers?
Well, also we can only wish our viewers Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year, and also congratulations to Channels. In football, when you win hat-trick, you are given the trophy for keeps. Now,
10.
I don't know whether you get 3 trophies and you are working towards the 4th, the hat-trick.
You just give us the next 3. Give us the next 3 undisputed. Thank you so much, Julian, for coming around. Of course, thanks so much, you too, for coming around.
Thanks for having me.
I'm sure you enjoyed some of the proverbs that you dropped on the show tonight. That's it. That's the show. But remember, you can keep talking to us on Twitter, we're channels_sports, and on Facebook, we're channels-sports. On behalf of the ever-winning sports team at Channels TV Sports Center in Lagos, Nigeria, I'm Austin Okonakwan. We'll be back again tomorrow to talk some more sports. But until then, in everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.